Hi there, my name is Jennifer Gauthier and I'm the teacher creator behind Anything But Lectures. And today I'm going to walk you through my flipped classroom resource kit. So once you have purchased and downloaded the resource, you will see a zip file. I have already unzipped it, but there are two documents here. Now it is very important, the bulk of the resource is in this document here, which is the Read First User Manual for Teachers. So we will open that up and you will see this PDF document here. Now, the table of contents, you'll see that there is an introduction. There is about the flipped classroom. So if you are new to the flipped classroom, this page will be very helpful to you. There's what's included, the access links, and the Google Slides instructions. So I'll go through all of these in this tutorial. If you're watching this, it's very possible that you're starting from this point here. You've clicked here to watch the video. So on this page, you will see an introduction. I just go through the steps you're going to be taking and the decisions you'll be making in this resource. I've included lots of different options for you and your students. So just kind of walks you through the steps that you're going to be taking. I have then included this page. Again, if you're new to the flipped classroom, this will be helpful to you just to get an overview of what the flipped classroom is and why teachers use the flipped classroom approach. Next, I have a what's included. So there is a teacher planner, there is a weekly student hub, a monthly student hub, and some parent communication options, which we will go through together. Now here is where you're going to access all of these options. So this page is probably the most important to you. You will see I have a teacher planner, so there's a black and white version and a color version, and you're going to access them here. So they are all on Google Slides. You will click here, which will bring you to the page I will show you in a second. There's a weekly student hub. There's, again, a black and white version. There's a pancake version and a coin version. I kind of was playing off the flipped word, so I wanted to do like a flipped pancake and a flipped coin version. Again, a monthly student hub. So this you'll see is very similar to the weekly student hub. It's just if you as a teacher like to plan longer in advance and you have everything for a month's worth of activities and you want to just get it out to students, the monthly student hub will be your choice. But if you do plan more week to week, then the weekly student hub will be best for you. And then we have some parent communication. So we have a letter to parents and we have a parent presentation. So it is very important in the flipped classroom approach that parents are on board and understand what it is that the flipped classroom means to them and their child. So I have included a letter, which is editable. It is a template on Canva. And then there is a Google Slides presentation as well. So let's get into the teacher planner. So if I clicked here, you would see this page right here. So it is going to force you to make a copy. So you would click this and then you would change the name of it. So here it would say copy of teacher planner. You could change it to your name. So it could be Sarah's teacher planner. So there is a black and white version and a color version. So really it depends what you prefer. I will show you the black and white version. They're the exact same, it's just one is a color and one is not. So in this planner at a glance, you will see the months. I've included months August to June because that is a typical school year for teachers, especially where I am in Canada. So you have here, you would click on the month you would like, which would bring you to, you'll see it's linked, so slide 2. Then we have a month at a glance. So this is really where you could just kind of put an overview of what it's going to include. So you have at home and in class. So you could just type in here a brief, maybe just a couple words of what you would have students do at home and what students would be doing in class. You then have here each of the weeks on the left-hand side are linked. So you could go to slide 3. So this would bring you to week 1 in August. And you see here that, again, this is a weekly planner, so a bit more detailed, where you could, again, put a sentence or two of what you want students to be doing at home, in class, and then you can also add some notes, so maybe how you will be assessing students. And once again, this is linked. So each day of the week is linked. So you could click on Monday, it would bring you to slide 4. So again, this is Monday of week 1 in August. And if you ever want to return, you can go back to a week at a glance. And then if you want to go back to the month, you could go back to month at a glance. And then if you want to go back to the beginning, you can go to the planner at a glance. So again, this is included for all school days from August until June. And again, the day planner, this is where you could put more detailed, you would put links. So what links you want students to be looking at home. You can add the date here if that's helpful to you. And just more detailed of what your students are going to be doing that day, both at home and in class. Now, the next thing to look at is the Student Hub. So this is where students are going to be accessing all their work. So let's look at the, let's look at the weekly planner. So this is the black and white version. So this would be what you would send your students when you have added all the work that you want them to do. So this is the cover page. This is our flipped classroom hub. So it just explains to students what this is. Next slide is how it works. So what they'll be doing at home and in class, it just explains to them what that means, that they'll be learning at home and then applying what they've learned in class. Then we have our schedule. So this lets students know kind of what to expect from that day. Again, you would just kind of put a sentence or two because we'd be going into more detail in the next few slides. You can put the date for them here, and then each of these icons are linked. So this would bring them to the in-class work that they would be doing that day. So let's take a look at that, slide 5. And here is where you could kind of put either the things they need to do or the steps they're going to be taking. And you can add this here before you send it to students. You would type here what they would be doing and then send it to them. You could then go back to, you can either go here to the homework, which would be the next page, or you could go, and from the homework page, you could go back to the in-class page. So in class, they might need to be using what they did at home. So that's why I have linked the homework for that day slide. Now, this is the homework page. This is where you would put, if you want students to be reading something, you could link it here. If you wanted them to be watching something, so maybe you have recorded a video or you want them to watch a YouTube video from another creator, you would link it here. Or maybe you want them to be doing something, but I tend to think that for flipped classroom, the doing would be the notes they would be taking. So maybe you would link a YouTube video and then you would want them to take notes that they could be using in class. So this is where they could be typing any notes that they have. And if they need to go back to the schedule, they can do that. So all of the pages there are linked for the weekly planner. And I have included, like I said, a pancake version, so just more colorful. And again, it's linked, all the same things are linked. And then I have a coin flip version. And it is the same for the monthly planner. So here it is a bit more extensive. So these tabs here would go to all 4 weeks. So you'll notice this table is the same. It's just I've added tabs for each of the weeks, and you can see it would go to the next slide. week 3, week 4. But the pages for the in-class and the homework are the same. And I have included the pancake version and the coin version for the monthly as well. Now, for the parent communication, I've mentioned how important it is so that parents understand what the flipped classroom approach is. So I have included here a presentation. Now this is completely editable. I didn't save the background so that you can change it. I want you to be able to change the colors so that if you're embedding this in maybe a presentation you've already created for the Meet the Teacher night, you could just copy these slides over and change them. And you'll notice that I have in here included things that you would want to edit. So if it's in the morning, in the afternoon, or the evening when you're doing this presentation to parents. And I have also included this letter. So if you went back here to this button here, to letter to the parents, you would click here. It would bring you to Canva, which you will need to access this, but it is free for educators. You will see this here, but the text is completely editable. And it's just a way for, again, parents to understand what it is that is required of them with the flipped classroom approach. It will be very important for parents to understand that their child will be doing work at home, and it is important that they are aware of the extra work that might be involved in this. It is extra work, but again, it has been shown to be very beneficial in that students are learning at home and then applying what they've learned in the classroom. At the end of this PDF document, you will see that I've included how to distribute this to students. So there is a certain way that you will want to edit the document and then get it to students so that they get their own individual copy, which is very important because if all students are working on the same copy, then they'll be erasing each other's work and it'll just get very complicated. So you'll want to be sure to check out this last page in the teacher's manual. Then I have, to access the parent communication, I have this parent communication document here. And this is where you would click to go to the letter to the parents that I showed you in Canva and the parent presentation in Google. So that is the resource. I hope it is helpful to you. Please leave a review. Ask any questions. You can do that by sending me an email or going on to the store page where you have purchased this resource and let me know if you need any help. I really can't wait for this to help you in your life and in your students' life.